How you doing, YouTube family, man? Ant-Man here, back with another video, and I'm gonna try to make this brief. So right at the top it says which lead is better. Now if you've been in the funding industry, or merchant cash advance, term loan, SBA loan, whatever type of loans it is that you've done, okay, if you've been in the industry, you've been a broker, you understand, or you've been a direct lender, you understand what these leads are. But there are many people that do not know what these leads are, so they're basically stuck cold calling, trying to just find a business that needs funding. But if you understand what these leads are, it would make it easier for you to get a deal funded, because the business owners that you're speaking to have either required some type of notion that they've needed funding, anywhere between, right then and there, a couple of minutes ago, to 30 to 60 days, or, or you're going to cold call. But aged leads. Now, I'm going to explain to you what an aged lead is, as well as what the usual costs are. I know that this is what people are really looking for. What are the costs? Now, age leads, to be honest, are very cheap. I've seen them as low as like $1. Okay, seen them as low as $1. All right, and with that, you can get as many as you want. I mean, you can get them 30 days out, 60 days out, 90 days out. Usually companies sell them at like 60 to 90 days out. Okay, and you can get like 200-300 of them. It's really up to you how you want to do that. Those are the aged leads. Sometimes they're $10 or $5, but usually they're about a couple of bucks. They're really not, that's per aged lead. Now, I would suggest that you contact a particular company and ask them how far out is these aged leads. I would recommend 30 days out, not 90 days out, but if you can get 60 to 90 days, I mean, that's still not that bad, because out of that bulk of leads that you are contacting, all of them in which has inquired information about receiving, or about them needing capital for their business. So the cost of an aged lead, okay, is usually about $1, per aged lead, okay, and they sell them in bunches, like 300, 600, 900, 1200. They be selling them by the hundreds, right? And age lead, it says it right then and there. It's not in a lead of a business that just now inquired information. They are 30 days out, 60 days out, and 90 days out. So those are aged leads. Real-time leads, okay? Now, real-time leads, these are, for me, my opinion, these are the best type of leads, because a business owner, basically just filled out that information like 2 to 5 minutes ago, or 2 to 10 minutes ago. They're telling you that they need the funding. They put down all the information that you would need, the basic information that you would need. The only thing that you probably wouldn't have is their statements, and they didn't fill out the application yet. But that's why you're going to call them. So these leads can range anywhere between like $25 to about $45, okay? So, I mean, yeah, I mean, and also what I do want to add is that the limit that you usually would have to purchase would be anywhere between, 10 leads to up to like 50 of them. All right. So you just basically take 25, times 10, up to 45. I mean, I've seen it as low as 25 to 35 to $45, anywhere between. You would have to purchase a minimum of anywhere between 10 to 50 of those real-time leads. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't have that kind of money. It is what it is, but I'm just letting you know that if you're looking to get into the funding industry, this is something that you're going to want to look into. Most funding brokers or funding companies, they talk about, how the industry is booming and a lot of business owners need funding. Yeah, well, when you start calling around, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not gonna be easy for you to just stumble upon someone that needs funding, right? Why? Because they've been called like 20 million times in the last 20 years about the same thing. Okay, so you got to understand, if you just go ahead and start cold calling, sometimes you might get someone that needs the funding. But when you're looking at a real-time lead, you have all the information that you need. The only difference is all they would have to do is fill out your application with the company that you're partnered with, and you collect their most recent business banking statements as well as their credit card processing statements. All right. Real-time lead. A real-time lead, like I just said before, is someone that just now filled out that information in real time. So right now on the clock right now, it is 5:43. If someone filled out some information right now, I would receive an email notification either in a Google Sheet or just an email copy of that particular lead and everything that is there that a typical business owner would need to fill out if they're looking for a lead, right? So you're looking at the business owner's name, the business name, what the use of funds are, how much they need for capital, right? Okay. And how soon can they receive funds, which would be like anywhere between immediately to 2 to 3 weeks is when they will be looking to receive the funding, right? And how many years they've been in business. So 9 times out of 10, they're either been in business for 1 year all the way up to 10, 15, 20 years, right? So as long as they meet your criteria of the company that you're partnered with, you're basically good to go. Live transfer. Now, live transfer, from what I've seen, they've gone anywhere between $45 to like $60, Yes, that's a lot of money, okay? And of course, just like up top, now live transfer, I've seen a minimum of anywhere between 30, to 60, okay, that you would have to purchase. These are leads that you would have to purchase. Now, live transfer leads, these leads are basically similar to the real-time leads. The only difference is you don't really receive an email copy. What you receive is a live call from whatever company you're partnered with that provide these live transfer leads. They would have somewhat of like an appointment setter that would contact you, let you know that they have someone on the line that is interested in receiving funding and it fits your criteria, or you would just automatically receive a call, okay, around whatever time that you're available, because I'm sure you can set up, the time that you're available to speak to these business owners, okay? If you're available, your phone would just ring. You would set that up in like a back office account or something like that, and then your phone would just ring, okay? And then that person will be on the line. Either the company, the person that's partnered with your account will let you know, hey, I have John Smith on the phone. Okay, he needs $150,000 in equipment he needs it for inventory. He needs it for his construction business, or whatever he needs it for. He needs to buy equipment, whatever. Okay, are you available to speak with him? Or your phone will just ring, and then you'll automatically know, like, hey, you'll say, hey, how you doing? This is XYZ, with XYZ Funding Company. How may I help you? He'll say, hey, how you doing? This is John Smith. I'm looking for funding. So live transfer, it just goes right to that number that you input into the system, and you just start receiving calls of business owners that needs money, basically, and it's live. It's right then and there. So as soon as they fill out that information, you're basically going to start getting calls coming in. All right, so those prices are $45 to $60. If anybody sees anything that's less, let me know. UCC Leads. Now, this is basically, the prices range for this. This could go from $100, to like, $500. This depends on, I guess, how many leads basically that you need. $100 to $500, and you can purchase, basically, a minimum of like, 200 to like, 1,000, right? So, UCC list leads is basically like, if you're looking to only find restaurants in the New York or Arizona area that only has 10 employees or something like that, that's kind of like a more of a targeted list in a designated area. You're only looking for people, say you're trying to dominate your local market, okay? Those will probably be the best lists that you would need if you're looking to dominate your local market. Most of these other leads here is more so of, from age leads to real-time leads to live transfer leads. Those are kind of like all 50 states type leads. It's not really connected to one state. Sometimes you can get it like that, but then most of the time, I mean, it really doesn't matter if you're partnered with a company and you're a broker and they provide funding in all 50 states. It really wouldn't matter. But if you're someone that's like, you know what, I'd rather talk to people that are, in my state, in my zip code, in one particular niche, that is what basically UCC list leads are. Okay. Now, you can get UCC list leads off of referenceusa.com. Reference USA. You can go to your local library if you have your library card and whatnot, and you can basically go to your local library website and go to the databases, go down to the letter R. It's going to say Reference USA. You click it, and then basically you get to, you put in your card number, and I believe your card number and something else, and then that's when you're going to get access to a database of new and, regular businesses, and you get to, create your own criteria, and you get to download, I believe, a list of 250, or you can just utilize the listings that are in front of you. I believe it's 50 per page. So those are, the prices. From what I've seen, okay, I've done my research. I've bought all of these leads. So these are usually like, I would say, a company or industry standard of just as a full-blown synopsis of, all of, the companies that I've, purchased stuff from. But those are the prices. Okay. I explained to you what each one of them are. So if you're looking forward to getting into the funding industry and, you got some money to spare, you would not be wasting your money buying leads because they need the money. Simple as that. I mean, I know people that purchased age leads and they found like 3 to 5 companies that needed funding. Of course, RealTime Leads. Okay, my personal opinion are those and live transfer leads are my personal opinion. Those are the best, obviously, because they're highly, highly, highly targeted. Some companies even allow for you to upload your application that's connected to your company, and the business owners are able to fill out that exact application. And then when you receive that notification of a real-time Google Sheet lead or a real-time, email copy of that lead or a live transfer, sometimes they already filled out that application, and the company that you're partnered with will automatically submit that information straight directly to the email address that you have that's connected to that account. And you got a lot to work with there. So there are a lot of benefits to utilizing real-time leads and live transfer leads. Yeah. Is it costly? Yes. Now, if you don't have, $500 to a couple $1,000s to drive into that, trust me, I understand. Go with the age leads, right? What I said before, I would contact the company and say, hey, do you guys have aged leads of 30 days out? Okay, I would set that as a minimum. If they don't, 60 to 90 days is okay. Okay, it's still okay. But hey, you can't beat $1, right? I mean, you can get 50 of those and work with that, right? You can get 100 of those and work with that, right? So I don't see nothing wrong with that. If you're low on cash at that particular time, say you get a deal funded, okay, say you make, $4,000 off your first deal or something like that. Hey, get real-time leads, okay, and you'll see the difference, okay? Trust me, you'll see the difference. And you don't have to sit around and dial. You'll just get that lead, you'll call them, and you'll go right off of whatever, information that they filled out, and they're going to answer every question because they just filled it out because it's in real time. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watching this video. Take care. God bless you. Talk to you soon.